Guess what? The legendary I Am Vegan Monk bodybuilder.
Ooh.
There she goes.
Look at that.
She is in the building.
Look what we got here.
Hey, what's going on, Chef Babette? So, you finally made it up to the Bay Area.
I'm so excited.
How did you enjoy your flight today?
Very good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No troubles? You didn't sit next to anybody that was annoying, kind of bothering you on the plane?
With bad breath?
Oh, you're so bad.
No, I was just asking you, did they have bad breath?
You know they had bad breath. We had to pick her up from the airport.
It was a great flight, and I sat by two very interesting guys from France, and one was a chef, and
but he wasn't a chef like you.
No, but he knew how to do vegan cuisine, so.
But nobody knows how to do vegan cuisine like you.
No,
not at all.
We already know this.
So, Chef Babette, we're going to let our viewers get to know you today. And as we're talking to Chef Babette, please feel free to ask as many questions as possible. As you guys are watching our live Facebook live feed out there, we have Chef Babette in the building, so make sure we have a clear line of communication with her. So, Chef Babette, you've been vegan for 30 years.
Wow.
Before What the Health and all these trendy little videos that came out in the last couple of years, you were already part of the movement.
I was. Isn't that incredible?
What spoke to you? What made you want to go vegan? Because in the urban community, especially, you're from Inglewood, or is it just the restaurant in Inglewood?
Actually, I grew up in South Central.
Oh, in the heart of it.
I'm one of the original East Side.
Oh, you started it.
Washington Boulevard and Central Avenue.
You're throwing out the sets now. But that, people weren't talking about plant-based and being vegan, and
especially in the urban community.
Not in the urban community. What led you to this journey that you're on right now?
I met my current husband, Rondell Davis, and I was having serious challenges, especially with not being able to digest food. It was challenging for me. Also, I had
so you had like IBS and stuff like that.
And stuff, and just had a very, very difficult time whenever I ate. And so once I met him, he shared some literature with me, and I read Fit for Life by Harvey and Marilyn Diamond, volumes 1 and 2, and also The Mucusless Diet Healing System by Professor Arnold Ehret. And those books, quite frankly, changed my whole perspective on food and eating, and yeah, here I am today. It's been a beautiful journey.
Wow. So what was it like growing up in LA back then? Let's get to know a little bit more about you.
Okay, so when I was very young, I worked a lot, so I was boarded out a lot. That wasn't necessarily always the most pleasant experience for me. People can be cruel, and so I experienced some of that. But I would have opportunities to go home and be with my mom, and that was always wonderful. She was an incredible woman. But my diet is standard American diet.
So you were eating pig's feet, hog moss, chitlins.
That I ate that I enjoyed. Now, my mother didn't do a lot of pig's feet and pig tails and pig ears and all that.
Tails.
Yeah, but an ear ain't quite as bad as his intestines. She did that.
Okay.
Wow, okay.
So we ate chitterlings. We ate pork chops. We ate bacon. We ate ham. Now, I'm going to tell you the things that always affected me. I never could tolerate bacon. Bacon
just the texture, or just it didn't agree with your system?
It didn't agree with my system. I belched bacon all day long.
And that's interesting because a lot of people love bacon.
And I wasn't wild about ham. I guess it was just but now pork chops, smothered pork chops with gravy and onion and stuff like that, I could work that over. And I enjoyed the chitterlings when I ate them, but
I can't even walk in the house.
I can't.
After a while, I realized that every time I ate them, and especially what we decided we were going to eat them with, because we had a full-on soul food platter in front of us.
Yeah.
So mother had coleslaw, and she had what else did we have? Mac and cheese and chitlins and black eyed peas and cornbread and greens and
the typical Western diet.
A bloated mess. And so I finally started telling my mom that I was allergic. I was allergic to chitlins.
Oh, so you was lying?
No, I thought I was.
Was it? Hold on. Was it a white lie? Was it I'm just saying. If y'all didn't get that joke, you have to go check out our Instagram, Chef Babette. Y'all understand what I'm talking about.
It was a white lie.
It was a little white lie.
Anyway, yeah. So I stopped eating the chitterlings probably when I was like 18, 19 years old. I was just like, I can't do these anymore. But everything else it was a mess as well. So when I met Ron, I was able to actually.
And who's Ron?
Is my current husband.
Oh, okay.
His name is, and he shared this information with me. And believe it or not, I kind of transitioned overnight.
Right.
Of course, all of my friends and family from my past were like, "Are you crazy?
Have you lost your mind?"
Because
this is what we eat, and this is what we've always eaten.
So Ron was plant-based or vegan at the time?
No, Ron was actually not.
Oh, okay.
Ron knew some stuff,
but he was still eating meat.
He was still eating chicken and chicken and turkey franks for things like 4th of July, and if you wanted to put it on. But anyway, on the grill. So what I would do is I just completely changed, and he was like, well, hey, I guess I will too. And we both did, and the rest is history. We've lived in a vegan lifestyle for the last almost 30 years.
So that's beautiful. He introduced it to you, and then you influenced him to change.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Wow. And what were some of the benefits you were saying? You were saying you were having stomach issues and other things going on?
Definitely had issues with digesting food. Now, when I was a kid, I had some of the worst earache ever. I can remember Mom taking white cotton cloth and putting it in a cast iron skillet with table salt and getting it as warm as I could possibly stand for it to be on my skin. And she'd put it on my ears, and this fluid the color
like
of the
mucus
would be green.
Wow.
Coming out of my ears. I was always out of school for colds and the asthma, the earaches. I had so much eczema everywhere. To the kids that I grew up on 20th Street and Central Avenue. No, I grew up on Walnut. I went to 20th Street Elementary School, which was right across the street. And the kids would get in front of my house at night, especially the boys. Yeah. And they had this horrible song they would sing. They called me Rashy Moon.
Rashy Moon?
And they had this horrible song.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was kind of cruel. But that's kind of how I grew up. Once I transitioned, I promise you, all of that went away.
The eczema, the asthma.
I couldn't even wear anything backless. Now you can hardly keep me out of it.
So I got a question. Someone has a question for you.
Yeah.
It says, I'm still trying to slowly transition myself. My family treats me, I can't really see that.
Like I'm
Yes.
not insane, sweetheart.
Yes.
Just do you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what people don't understand, everybody's going to go through their own journey, and not everybody around you is going to understand that journey. So it's going to be a lonely road sometimes.
And it is, but really, it wasn't necessarily lonely for us because, after reading and educating myself, we felt like y'all the one that's
missing the boat.
Right. Yeah.
Because when people want to say, well, you just seem a little, what do they call you when you're really into veganism? They say you're extreme.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. That just seems to me like the person that has to continue sucking down animal pus and blood is
body parts.
More extreme than somebody
Absolutely.
that just wants to eat the apple. And when I started thinking about what I'm eating when I take a piece of flesh,
Yeah.
and I cut it open and it's bloody, and then I put
There's no
it
life
on
in it.
heat, and then there's stuff oozing out of it that they've been telling me is juice. And then I start comparing juice and an orange. Or
Yeah, what is
water.
juice? What is
What
juice?
is juice?
Yeah.
Is it really juice, or is it body fluids
Right.
that consist of blood, pus, toxins,
Antibiotics, growth hormone.
whatever?
Yes.
It came from another being. Why am I extreme? Why? I'm sorry, y'all.
Yeah, it's all good.
But really, I think I got it backwards. This is when this is when 67.
You're not 67. Why are you lying to the?
It's not working.
You gotta
Help me.
you just gotta flip around.
I can't.
Can't?
They're not.
Okay.
You want to go in there and help?
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely go.
ahead.
Yep.
Come help me.
You all right, Babette?
But anyway, pretty much. I don't know, what was I before I lost my head?
You were talking about extreme diet.
We were talking. I don't know. It don't matter. Come fix these headphones. Why do you do this? Think them all my head. They don't fall off.
If you wanted me to come hang out with you,
I mean, that's all you had to say. That's it.
see how they rotate. So
See, now I got it.
Boom.
Thank you, darling. All right, y'all.
All right, you back. So yeah, so the other day I was asking you about your time overseas. I want you to tell the folks out there a little bit about your experience over there and why you went over there and what happened to you while you were over there.
All right. Well, I actually had an opportunity to go over to Japan for 6 weeks. We went over to the Motown Cafe, and we were able to do some singing there, and it was really phenomenal. But what I learned while I was over there, I mean, my time there, the people that I was with, they were writing music and they were rehearsing. They were just full on into music. And Chef Babette was meditating and
Hold on.
shopping.
Wait. A black woman that meditates?
I was shopping and I was working out every day and cooking food for everybody. But the time that I had to be still and quiet and go within, that was the most important time, because it really took me a minute to be able to settle myself. And once I was able to do that, everything that I'm doing now, I knew I was going to do when I left Japan.
I have another question for you about meditation. So, you know that me and Kat, we both are big into meditation. And when I initially started, and still happens to me now, is when I sit down, it takes a minute for the mud to settle, right? So is it the same way with you?
It is. It's the same way. It's just staying put, being still, and being quiet, and eventually it just and my focus is always right here. I'm always focusing on that
third
eye. So that's kind of what gets me into the space that, and I can stay there. And that's exactly what I did. It just, everything manifested the way that I saw it manifesting. And so I'm huge on that. That's what it does for you. It makes you shut up.
So I got a quick question for you. When you first started meditating, was it like for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes, or were you like really like sitting down for an hour at a time?
When I was there, it was more like an hour at a time.
Oh, okay.
There, yeah. I spend a lot of time to myself now as well. It's because I work in the restaurant, it gets a bit noisy and hectic, and so my preference is to come home and go straight to my area where I'm feeling the most peaceful and being still and quiet with myself.
Hold on, what restaurant? We didn't hear nothing about no restaurant, did we?
I don't know. Yes, I own a vegan restaurant.
Oh, get out of here.
Downtown Inglewood, California, called Stuff I Eat.
So My
Yes.
question to
114
you.
North. It's
Oh, go ahead. We gotta get all the promos. So my question to you is what was your thought process? What were the people around you telling you when you said you were gonna open up a vegan restaurant in the middle of the hood?
they were like, are you sure you want to put a vegan restaurant in Inglewood? I mean, really?
Who's gonna support?
I always heard that Inglewood was always up to no good. Is that true?
Well, I mean, we had our ups and downs, like, I mean, like every
I'm
other
just saying.
city.
I heard it in the song. I even heard it in the song.
Inglewood is just great. Inglewood has been good to Chef Babette.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's the thing I can say. Inglewood has been wonderful, but this battery going out. I told you that this battery was not going to hold up.
It's gonna last. It's gonna work.
It keeps telling me it's not, baby.
Anyway, you got to trust in the process.
Look, it's a man thing, you ladies.
Is it the battery on your phone?
So
yes.
Let's take a quick break. And welcome back to Health Matters, where we have the legendary Chef Babette from LA, California, who owns Stuff I Eat. She has been a vegan for the last 30 years. I have my co-host, I Am Vegan Monk, in the building. And Chef Babette was just telling us how the beginning, the first days, the first weeks of owning her restaurant in Inglewood, were there hard times, or was it instant love in the community? How was it when you first opened those doors?
Of course, nobody came in. And the thing is, we had been over at Agape Spiritual Center.
I love that place.
But we'd been over there for 6 years on the parking lot. So Ron and I, we built this 15.
Okay, you was a vendor out there then.
We were
okay.
There. This 15-foot hot dog cart, if you will, that we made vegan. And so we had griddles and refrigerators, and we wound up with block-long lines at Agape. And we were there on the parking lot for 6 years. 6 years.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, then we were on our way to Jamaica, just going to hang out, and we were walking down Market Street, and the doors to Stuff I Eat were open. And when I went inside, there was a built-in steam table that was the same color as my business cards. And so for myself, that was like an omen.
It was
right?
a sign. You just knew.
So we met the owner, really nice gentleman, and he was like, "No, I don't think I want a restaurant here. I'm going to make this a Nike kids store." He had a Nike shoe store right next door. And by the time he got back from Jamaica, he had about 6-7 phone calls from him saying, "You know what? I've rethought this. I'm the owner. I'm the broker. Why don't you just give me first and last month's rent and a security deposit? I'll let you have it."
That's a blessing right there.
1,900 square feet. We were only paying $1,700 a month for rent, but we had to gut it. We didn't really have any money. We just snatched it, and so it took us 4 years, you guys, 4 years to actually open the doors. And when we opened on July 1st of 2008. We didn't have tables and chairs. We had the 3 bistro tables and 6 of those bistro chairs, but we didn't even have trash cans. So we opened for like 3 or 4 hours a day, and then August or September.
Now, I've been in there, and it's a beautiful place.
It's cute. It's fun. It's like a little cafe.
It's cozy.
Cozy. It's like being at home in Mama's kitchen. Ain't nobody foo-foo. We just all in there trying to get some healthy food together.
So I want to dive a little bit deeper. So when you saw this vision of you opening up this restaurant and you knew it was going to happen, what tools did you have? What resources did you have? Did you have a cooking background at the time, or did you just know from your heart that this is something that you were just going to figure out as you went?
Well, what I knew was that we had a good product. And no, I had no cooking background. As a matter of fact, Ron taught me a lot of what I know about a lot of the dishes that we serve. And he taught me not to cook so fast, and I still do. He's always like, "You just got the fire too high."
Right. Mm-hmm.
But
let it marinate.
Right.
It was one of those things where we had a good product and we wanted to share because there was so much information that we got out of it. And of course you want to share good news with people. And so we felt like the best way for us to do that is to share this food because we knew people would really like it. Ron
They
has
just had to taste it for the first time.
had to taste
Well,
it.
food
and
is life. Food
Yes,
is life.
it is. It truly is. And then, of course, when I got on the journey, it was pretty selfish. It was all about, oh, I can get rid of this bloating, the rash, eczema, asthma, all this stuff is gonna go away. It was all about me. But then, as years went on, it became less and less about me, and more about the whole. And